now that we're getting a better look at her, I really like her design. Oh, this is the dude. Dang, talk about one hell of an entrance. Okay. Oh my god! That hand is gone. That is unusable now. Holy crap. Yo, what is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Slice of Shonen. I am your host, The Clouded Crow, and today I will be reviewing episode 7 of the Eminence in Shadow, and boy, what a fantastic episode did we get here today. There's two big topics that I want to touch on, maybe three in this specific review. One of them is going to be Kageno's performance in this little mini tournament that they had here, where he fought against Oriana. The next one is going to be about this love rivalry that's brewing between Sherry and Alexia. And then the last one is going to be kind of the recent developments we've gotten for Shadow Garden. There wasn't too much, but there were some interesting things that I want to talk about. So first, we're going into this little tournament that was hosted outside of the school, and we had a couple prominent members participating in them. One of them being Kageno's sister. She's still at it. She's still kicking butt all of these years later, and apparently even Iris has her eye on her, so I wonder if eventually she will be able to rival Iris's skill. Another person that's very promising, at least they seem so far, is Oriana. And so we have Oriana facing against Kageno, and immediately as soon as the battle starts, they're both dashing towards each other. Time is kind of slowed, and it seems like something crazy is about to go down. Like, I was expecting an epic clash between them, both of them like clanging swords, knocking each other back. But of course, we know Kageno, he's trying to stay inconspicuous. He doesn't want people to know his true power level. So my man, now correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like my boy Kageno, the last second before he got hit, he like grabbed some sort of fruit out of his pocket. I don't know if it was like a strawberry, a raspberry, or what, but he threw it in his mouth, ate it last second, and then when he got hit by Oriana, it looked like there was a ton of blood spewing all over the place, when in actuality it was probably just whatever the heck that fruit was. And I love seeing how far Kageno goes out of his way to try to appear normal. Like, this man literally withstood being tortured. Even though it didn't really do anything to him, he was playing the part, he was bawling his eyes out. So seeing this here again was hilarious. But the thing that I wanted to point out about this was, well, there's two things. One, the fact that Kageno, before the battle started, he said, like, clearly I'm the side character here and she's the protagonist. You know, all of the people in the crowd, they're all rooting for her. They have no idea who I am. And so throughout the match, he's constantly getting knocked back, knocked on his butt. He's like bending over backwards and he's getting messed up badly, seemingly. And every time he gets back up and charges right back into the battle. Now we see that this garners the respect from Oriana, even though she ultimately wins the battle due to the referee intervening and protecting Kageno. She still believes that she lost that battle of spirit. Like, she may have outskilled him there, but when it comes to, you know, their sheer willpower, Kageno had her beat because he kept getting up no matter how many times he got knocked down. And this is one of the reasons why I really like Oriana. I love characters like this that don't underestimate people no matter how weak they are, because they know that, like, being strong is more than like a physical thing. Here she pointed out that it's a mental thing too, and she acknowledged that because she noticed that he was not going down, and no matter how many times she smacked him around, he was not going down. So I have a ton of respect for her, and I feel like, even though there wasn't really any sign of it, I feel like by Kageno taking this beating and standing back up against this girl that is so skilled, I feel like that might have, you know, subtly sent some waves throughout the crowd. Like, maybe they are beginning to garner some respect for him too. Maybe they saw him as a bit of the underdog. I wish we could have seen a bit of that, because that would be really cool. So that's it for the first segment, and now we head over to the second segment, which is the love rivalry. But before we get into that, let's get into the beginning of how this rivalry even started. So we first met Sherry, I think like 2 episodes back, maybe three, when Kagenou and Sherry bumped into each other. And their first encounter, there were like sparkles and, you know, pink lighting to symbolize that maybe this was love at first sight, but there wasn't really anything yet until Kagenou gave her those chocolates last episode. And once she got the chocolates, and especially after her dad told her, like, well, usually when a boy gives a girl chocolates, that's his way of, like, you know, showing his affection. And after this, my guess is she started to kind of overthink this. That's why she hasn't touched the chocolates at all. She finally gave it a bite, and I think that is when a crush on Kagenou started to develop. And then we see her approach Kagenou after the tournament, and she's talking about how, you know, she was really inspired seeing him constantly get back up. And she said, well, okay, so in her mind, she probably thinks that Kagenou confessed to him, because she asks him if they can start off as friends. And Kagenou's like, yeah, sure, whatever, because he didn't see her that way. He didn't think it was that deep. He was like, yeah, sure, we can be friends, I guess. And she was ready to slowly start working towards a real relationship, but then she suddenly remembered Kagenou was spending a lot of time with Alexia. So she visits Alexia, and this is where things get crazy, because she talks to Alexia, and she asks her if she's romantically involved with anyone, specifically Kagenou. And Alexia, we can see that she's finally come to terms with things, and she was like, no, I'm not in a relationship with Kagenou. Actually, we weren't in one to begin with, and she seemed like she was very calm about it. And then everything changed when she saw that look on Sherry's face. Sherry was like, oh, you're not with Kagenou? Oh, okay, this is perfect for me. She had this wide smile on her face when she walked out the door, and we could see that Alexia, as soon as she saw the look on her face, she knew that she was gonna try to go after Kagenou. Her hands started trembling, the handle on the cup started cracking, and we knew, that's when I knew that a love rivalry was going to start there. Because she was so heavily impacted by the idea of Sherry trying to get with Kagenou right after she finished accepting things as they were, and Sherry just kind of dragged her right back into the situation. So that was funny. And then the last thing I want to mention in this quick little review here is going to be the developments in Shadow Garden. So not too much happened, but in the beginning of the episode, we start off with Nu, and she tells us all about these like children of Diablos, and there's this guy specifically that we're supposed to be looking for. I think his title or his position is like the firstborn, something like that, and his name is Rex. And we still know very little about him, but I'm sure we'll be bumping into him soon. And then we see this very interesting scene from Nu's backstory, where she seems like she's at a ball, she's dancing with this guy, and then suddenly the guy disappears, and like the background turns this like dark purple, and we see her arm. Something strange happens to her arm. It starts bubbling into this like purple mess. I don't know what exactly was going on there, but then they immediately cut the flashback. And it's very interesting because it seems like all of the members of Shadow Garden have come from very sad pasts, and I hope that one day we can see what really happened to them. But I don't know, man. I don't know if we'll ever really get that. But that's pretty much it for everything I wanted to talk about here and all of the developments in Shadow Garden. So my question of the day for you guys is going to be, who are you rooting for in this new love rivalry that's kind of brewing here? Are you on Team Alexia or are you on Team Sherry? Let me know in the comment section down below. But with that, I'm going to head out. Thank you all so much for watching this far into the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one.